Find out what I got at the Woolly Good Gathering in Edinburgh. Hi there, I'm Cilla from Cilla Crochets, and I'm here to cheer you on throughout your crochet journey, no matter what stage you're at. In this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to show you all the goodies I picked up from the Woolly Good Gathering, a yarn festival here in Edinburgh in Scotland. Now, this festival has been going for 2 years now. This is the second year. I didn't go last year because I didn't find out about it until after it had happened. So I'm really glad I knew about it this year and I was able to book tickets. Now, one thing I will say is that the festival is quite big in the way that you can go to workshops, you can go to talks, you can also walk around the market. Because I left it too late booking my tickets, I only got market tickets. So I was only able to explore the venue and have a walk around and buy some goodies. Definitely not complaining. It was a really great experience. But next year, I really hope to go along to some workshops and talks as well. But let's dive in and I will show you what I picked up from the festival. So, firstly, I got this bag because I wanted to get some merch from the festival, and I always use these types of bags to hold my works in progress in. So yeah, I can never have too many. So I got one. Next thing you may see poking out of my bag, I got some knitting needles. Now, before you think I am a traitor, I have never knitted anything in my life before. I was taught how to knit by my grandma when I was very young, and so I have done a few knitting stitches before. I remember what a purl stitch is, but I haven't done one in about 20 odd years, so more than that probably. But I want to give it a try. So I bought this to go along with this lovely pattern that I also purchased. So it is a bunting triangular scarf, and it's by Meg Roger, who I met at the festival. Not the person in the photo, but the designer. And the company is the Berlin Yarn Company from Seafaring Sheep. Meg lives over in Shetland, I'm pretty sure. I hope I've got that right. Some of the islands off Scotland anyway, and she has her own sheep, makes her own yarn, and is a designer. So I got this pattern because it seemed like a good beginner-friendly pattern, and I had a good chat with Meg about me wanting to learn how to knit. So I'm going to try and make this. To go along with the lovely pattern, I got this yarn as well. So this is from the same company. We've got a dark blue, and this one is like a nice bluey green. So this is called Reef, this one is called North. It is, let me tell you, so as I said, it's the Berlin Yarn Company from Seafaring Sheep. It's Hebridean and is it Cheviot wool? I hope I'm saying that right. And it is organic dyed yarn from sheep bred on crofts in the Outer Hebrides. So it's Outer Hebrides. That is where Meg is from, and that is where this yarn comes from. And it does feel very natural, but I'm excited to learn how to knit with that. So that's first thing down. My knitting project. Another thing I'll say about the festival is I would say there was a lot more there for knitters in comparison to crocheters. There are a few crochet specific stalls, but a lot of the stalls, like most of the patterns I saw were knitting patterns. However, they had things like, you know, it's a yarn festival. So they had weaving, they had some, you know, felting, embroidery. They had it all. So a big range. But the thing I'm about to show you is very crochet related. I did buy my first ever kit from Toft. Now I have quite a few of the crochet amigurumi books from Toft, but I thought this was really cool. Toft had their stand, so they had a display of the amigurumi behind the ladies that were on the stand. they had a display of all the yarn that you could buy just individually. But if you chose one of the amigurumi behind, basically you could buy kits. So they would then put together a kit for you based on the amigurumi that you said you wanted to make. And then you would get emailed the digital pattern. So in here, just so you can see what I have, I don't actually have the pattern, but actually that's not a photo of what I got either. I'll put a photo up here of the amigurumi I chose, but this, you know, I won't. But you get a little flyer with tutorials, a link to some tutorials. You get all the yarn, which I have to admit, this Toft DK yarn, it feels so lovely and I can't wait to work with it. So I've got the yarn colours that I need to make the amigurumi. I chose some beautiful blues. I'm going very blue themed, it seems. And you get a crochet hook. So that is all that came in the bag, because you get emailed the actual digital crochet pattern to make the amigurumi, which I am very excited about. I just love, there was so much embroidery detail that made this little elephant look absolutely adorable. So that's what I'm going to make, but that was a Toft kit. So that was the only amigurumi stand actually at the festival, which, you know, I'm glad there was at least one, but, you know, I think there is space for more, but I love this. So very excited to make that. Next up, I don't know what's in this bag. I can't remember, so I will find out. I know I've got 2 of these bags, so I'm not sure which one it is, but ooh, I love, this is exciting. So I bought some earrings. These are, check them out. I absolutely love them. I love the bright colours. They are handmade in Scotland. So it's Lindsay Walters jewellery, and they are felted. So I'll see if I've got her card in here as well. So Lindsay Walters, and you can go, you know, there's her details. So go check her out if you're interested in those. There was lots of really like chunky necklaces. They were absolutely stunning. Lots of earrings like this, but in different colours. I'm so happy with them. I love them so much and I can't wait to wear them. But yes, I treated myself. I couldn't help it. So it just goes to show the range of stuff at the festival as well. Then here's the other paper bag. So I wasn't sure which was which, but I suppose now it's quite obvious because this is a little bit heavier than the other one. So in here, I've got a few different things. So company is Generates by Jen Hogg. So I've got a few things from Jen, which I am excited about. Again, more accessories. So this is the business card by Jen. And let me show you. So first thing, I got stitch markers. Now, you know, you're probably thinking, so you really don't need more stitch markers, but you can never have enough stitch markers. But these ones are something special. So they are little wooden pegs and they have little numbers on them, and they're lobster claws because, you know, crochet. But what I'm going to use this for is to help me remember what hook size I am using when I'm working on a whip. So if I'm using a 3mm, I will put a 3 marker on it. 3.5, I could put a 3 and a 5. There you go. But I just love these. I thought they were really cool. There were lots of other pretty ones that I really wanted to buy as well. So I really restrained myself there because I haven't restrained myself. I didn't restrain myself at all for most of the day. So I got that. Then I got, I'm hoping you can see through the paper, although I can pull it out. It is a needle minder. So when you are using, you know, sewing, doing some sewing, you can put your needle on that and it's magnetic and it just stays there. So it's pretty. Let me pull it out. It's not sealed, but isn't that gorgeous? and it's made from recycled material, which is really cool. Jen was telling me that she gets the recycled acrylic from a big business that does things like uses it to make bus stops, which is really random. So that makes her, she is the smallest customer of the supplier of the recycled acrylic. But, you know, something a bit more interesting in my mind anyway than building bus stops is, you know, needle minders. That's so cool. And then the other thing I got that Jen made, I will open this, is a little, I don't know what to call it, a yarn gauge measure. So basically how this works, Jen showed me, because I didn't realize, I thought you just, you know, you could put the bit of yarn, here, let me get one. I've got a bit of yarn here. You put the bit of yarn against the line, which is a bit of a cheat way, but actually how it works is you wrap it round in between these notches, basically, and depending on how many times you can fit the yarn inside this section, that determines your gauge. So you'll see, where is it? Over here, it tells you roughly how many times you'll be able to, you know, wrap it in the middle. I just really, yeah, wrap it in the middle. So that's how you determine your gauge, which I thought was really cool. I'd never seen one of these before and I wanted to get it because I've got loads of scrap yarn behind me. I'm usually pretty good at being able to guess what the gauge is of the yarn, but this little tool will help me know for sure, which is very useful, especially when it comes to designing, because I often avoid my scraps when designing if I'm not 100% sure of what type of yarn it is. You know, because otherwise you can't really tell people what weight of yarn you've made the project with. So something very nifty there. That is it in that bag. However, I do have another bag. So I'm going to put this stuff away and then I will go grab the other bag. Be back in one sec. So this is the other bag I got. As I said, I use these for whips, so I feel like I can never have too many, and I just really like them. So this says, I'm definitely probably saying this wrong, mort, which, let me read it to you. It's an adjective, a mid-brown colour of Shetland sheep or their wool. Or to the noun, the loveliest indie crochet magazine. So that might give you a little bit of a hint about what I'm about to show you. So this was the other crochet specific stall I came across at the festival, and it is the Mort magazine. So they had their newest issue, which isn't in stores yet, so I got myself a copy of this. It is mainly around menswear, which is quite cool. And I really like this jumper on the front. It was on display and I want to make one for myself. So yes, I got that. And they also had back issues of more at their half price, which was handy. And I picked up this one, which is Spring Summer 23. Also love this top, but there's so many beautiful designs in here. Let me show you another one I really like. I love this. Like that jumper. Look, it's lovely. This is all very much so predominantly garments, which, you know, I like to work on when I'm not designing or making amigurumi, because I find it gives my hands a little bit of a break from the tight tension that you need when you make amigurumi. But that was it. That is my haul from going to the Woolly Good Gathering in Edinburgh this month. I will say that this is actually the first ever yarn festival I've been to. So I am really keen to go to some more and check them out. This is obviously local for me, so I haven't had to travel, you know, anywhere or stay overnight anywhere to go to the festival. However, I'm really keen to find out about more. So if you have any good yarn festival recommendations, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you've got any questions about anything I've shown you product-wise today, comment below. I'd really love to hear from you. As I said, this is a little bit of a different video for me, a bit more of a vlog style, sharing my experience, showing you all the goodies that I got. So, you know, let me know what you think. I'd really love to hear from you. If you have enjoyed this video, please do, as always, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more crochet related videos from me, I promise I'm not turning to knitting full time. Do hit that subscribe button and turn the little bell on so you get notified when any new videos are released. Until next time, happy crocheting!